like to introduce you to something new. If you're a healthcare coder, as I am, or a student learning to code, I've worked really hard to build an app for our phones called ROAR, Root Operation App Rescue. I've built this for both my students as well as inpatient healthcare coders. Having been an HIM professional for over 22 years, I've spent half of this time mentoring and teaching students, and with the help of my creativity and the desire to assist further learning, I created this helpful device that's an innovative coding tool for your iPhone, iPad, or even Android. Rather than writing a reference book, I decided to become more innovative. Here is ROAR on my iPad. If we press ROAR, the roaring lion, it comes to a menu area. We use the drop-down arrow, and here's what ROAR has. It'll talk about what our coder's responsibility is, in case we forget and have to be realigned. We also use the back arrow, go back to our menu, and we have all of the 2017 CMS coding guidelines. You press the white line, and this brings you to a scroll of all of the PCS guidelines for 2017. The very last one, B3.5, overlapping body layers, has in parentheses the word more. That's because we press that to go to the further end of all of our coding guidelines. It picks up from B3.5 to B3.6, all the way scrolling down to C and D. For instance, B6.0 is Device General Guidelines. If we press the search, it'll tell you Device General Guidelines, and that this device, when you use device, is coded only when it remains, the device remains after the procedure is completed. If no device remains, the device value, no device is coded. We use our back arrow key once again, and we use our drop-down menu. We move on to root operations, section 0, medical surgical. We press that, the white line, and we have our drop-down menu of every single medical surgical root operation in alphabetical form. For instance, let's take a look at excision. We bring that up, press the search, and it shows us exactly when the root operation excision is used. It tells you the object of the procedure, the general guidelines, reviews each of the guidelines pertinent to it, as well as examples at the bottom. All of the root operations include examples for easy reference. We also have the root operations, medical surgical related, in sections 1-X. These are those other root operations. If we select that, these are all listed as well. And each one itself opens to additional areas within itself. For instance, if we're looking at administration, we see introduction, irrigation, and transfusion. So if we choose irrigation, we press the search, and that's going to tell you when we use administration for this actual medical surgical related section. Putting in or on a cleaning substance. For the root operation irrigation, the body part value specifies the site of the irrigation. We use our back arrow key, and we can go back to our menu. We also have approaches. We all know, pressing this white line, there are 7 various approaches that would be used in our op report. The physician would be describing whether he's using percutaneous endoscopic, if he's doing his procedure open or via natural or artificial opening, and we can select which one to remind us would be the best choice from what the clinical documentation is referring to. This is percutaneous endoscopic, entry by puncture or minor incision by instrumentation, through the skin or mucous membrane, and any other body layers necessary to reach and visualize the site of the procedure. We can use our back arrow key, go back to our menu, and we've added something special. Down at the bottom, we have body part by anatomical term and anatomical term by body part. We can select either one, press the white line, and what we have here is a drop-down menu in alpha form, once again, of body parts by anatomical term. Or we can go quickly to the one we're looking for by simply pressing the letter on the keyboard. And here we'll go directly to any one of our anatomical terms that is in a lateral position for any of our body parts. If we go press the done key, it drops down the keyboard, and we can go back to our menu once again. We have anatomical term by body part. We press the white line, and again a drop down of all alphabetical body parts. We can go quickly to our particular body part, for instance, if we're working on the knee by pressing K. We have our scroll here. Pressing any one will tell you exactly what the anatomical term could be for this particular knee selection. In this case, the PCL is the posterior cruciate ligament. We use our back arrow key and our drop down once again. This brings us back to the entire menu. So whether you're looking for your guidelines, your root operations, approaches, or help with a body part or anatomical term, this is the fast, quickest way for you to have access to it. Understanding the verbiage of the new root operation terms, that's the most problematic for both coders and students. Using the app will shorten the time it takes to reference both online or textbooks. Our app here is going to become very addictive. It's great to use when you're increasing your coding time and or coding volume. There's one more item here on the iPad. In the upper right corner, you see the big star. If you press the large star, we've made it simple. It goes directly to the App Store so that you can access this exact app and press the review key, and you can write a review in order to tell me what you think about this. I encourage anyone that does have this to let me know. I'd like to hear from you. Well, I hope this has been a help to you, and I hope Roar becomes helpful for your coding purposes. Thanks.